Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Maybe we could play with, punctuation and say, well, come to the woods. There's something magical about being in the woods for sure. And that's wisdom that's been passed on for thousands of years. And I think it's going to get much easier to be a human in the woods. So let's chew on that a little bit. Let's recap on this point about the planet traveling 24,000 years around the galaxy. Earth travels around the galaxy. Of course, our whole solar system's doing all its funny stuff, and it's swirling around the galaxy. And when our solar system and our planet goes around the galaxy, that's 24,000 years. We don't have 24,000 years of history. I don't know, what we've got, like 8,000 years or something that we know of, really? Maybe 6, 5, I don't know. Not a lot, really. When you consider the time of the planet's been in existence, we know nothing. So anyway, so you can't really look to history and say, well, now we know how the planet used to be. We do have a situation where we've watched a history of a devolved society with very few people on the planet. When you don't have many people on the planet, you could be very enlightened. You could be very loving and conscious of your the collective consciousness, the God source of energy, and all that type of good stuff, and all kinds of miraculous powers in yourself, and the ability to communicate with other humans and other animals and nature and all that type of stuff. Your eyes could be much more opened and much more tuned to the vibration of your planet, with very few people living on it. We see a skeleton of a 5,000-year-old man. We don't know anything about his enlightenment. You say, well, he's just had sticks and it's so rudimentary, so he didn't build any big houses and things like that. Maybe they didn't need to. But anyway, there's a book called the Hicks, and it's talks about a lot of that stuff, if that's of interest to you. And it's interesting, but I just want to pull the piece out of it of this 24,000 year travel around the galaxy, and the fact that a few thousand years ago was the lowest vibration of the least likely to be connected to source, God source energy, okay, and knowledge and all that type of stuff. And then we're going to travel at 12,000 years, will be the most connected to the God source energy, and then we devolve as humans back down to the whole planet devolves, and it moves to another part of the galaxy where it technically is a different vibration. And so at that low vibration portion of the galaxy, we're swinging around again. We do the same circle, just like the sun, just like the planet Earth goes around the sun every time, and it slightly changes. We have winter, summer, winter, summer, winter, summer, spring, winter, summer, fall, winter, summer, fall. It's the same thing. Up at 12,000 years, we're at the highest summertime heat, and then we chill and we come back down through winter, and then we rise back up through spring, summer, fall, winter. And that has an effect on us, the people on the planet, because I'm not as tuned into the God source, all-knowing, all-collective consciousness, even though I'm still a soul and I'm still a vibration and all this great stuff's happening. But it's a very difficult time at the lowest point to be an enlightened, loving, expressing the true love connection that we all have. It's very difficult to express that. It's so cold, the vibration's so low. And it's not about temperature, it's just that vibration. So we're climbing up now. So there's a lot of positive things coming. At a time when we were devolving, it'd be a time to sort of like look to your past, always looking to the past. What did we have? What am I losing? What didn't we bring with us? What did we forget? What are we forgetting? And now it's like, what are we discovering? What are we discovering? What we gotta drop old paradigms of who we think we are and old ways of conducting ourselves and move into the new ones. If you don't move in, it just means you're going to have some struggle. But it's coming no matter what. You can't mess it up. You can't throw the planet off of its travels, its 24,000 year circle around the galaxy. You can't mess that up. So good times are coming whether you're ready or not. But this is kind of an exciting time because we have apparently, and it's part of, you can, if you talk to people who are, mediums and psychics and channels, and they tapping into this collective consciousness knows about the 24,000 years and all bits of history, all thoughts They know now that your thoughts, your memories and stuff permeate the atmosphere around you. And all space between particles, space between planets, that's where the magic happens. That vibrational wave between everything is where it all is. And now we've realized that Einstein knew, but we've known for a long time that the space between planets, the nothingness, the emptiness of the universe, is where all the power is. That if you can open that up, it's like unlimited power. And we've figured that out. We know how to do it. They're doing it now. So it's just a matter of applying it, putting it into things. That's coming this year, next year. What's coming once we have that extra power is then anti-gravity. Because anti-gravity, we know how to do that. It's just a matter of having enough power to do it. And it's clean power. It's just taken from this, it's just like you're opening up and you close it back up. You open and close and do whatever you want to do. And we're not going to try to get into explaining that in this little 15 minutes. But suffice to know that the planet is on its way, rising in its vibration, and your ability to, through meditation, conscious of your breath, things we've been talking about for thousands of years, is your portal to tuning in, tapping in, turning on to the collective consciousness, the God source, the all-knowing, all-love being that you really are. The being, the energy that came in here and created matter on Earth is just an expression of who we really are. But it was a dark expression of who we are, and it's becoming a more enlightened expression of who we really are. So you can't get it wrong. You never get it done. It just goes on and on. So just relax. But it's the only game in town, so it can be fun. What you don't want to do is sort of try to hold on to the past and say, it's got to go back to the way it was. And then you're just suffering because you just hate everything that's coming. A lot of old people are like, technology, people talk on the phone, they just text, they don't even talk to each other anymore. And yeah, you can find little, if you're at a low vibration, like, let me tell you what's going wrong right now. You could come up with a whole lot of stuff. You can say, well, I feel like everything's going so beautifully. Let me tell you what's going beautifully. So you could have arguments at any vibrational level of understanding that you want. So it's a matter of rising in your tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Meditation's a great place to be there, but meditation's a short part of your day. That's just sort of like give your body a rest and sort of turn things off so that you can go in. But really you want to integrate that way of thinking throughout your day. So on our journey up, technology, apparently, according to the channels from the other side, and you can watch the way it's happening anyway, technology is here for us to be able to measure things, and the unlimited power and the ability to, now we have technology where we can see that our mind, when we walk into the room, we start thinking, dancing off of the minds of other people, and that our memory and our understandings and our history and our collective consciousness is in the space between the particles, all floating around us, and that there's perfection all around us. And these are things that we couldn't even really talk about before because we didn't have the words for it, because conceptually it was just like, whatever, it's like, all I got to worry about is that bear coming up over the hill and protecting my family, making sure we have enough food squirreled away for the winter. And who's to say that's not the truth in those days, But I think survival on planet Earth is going to get real easy. Let's just put it that way. So we can go past just protecting our country against other countries, or protecting our neighborhood against other neighborhoods, or protecting our family against other families, or protecting our humans from the animal kingdom, or protecting, whatever, or exploiting everything around us for our benefit so that we can grow and multiply and things like that. Those are all good things, and those are things that needed to happen at that low vibration. But as the planet's rising in its vibration, basic existence has gotten very easy. But we're like getting kind of, things are getting funky because like, what do we do now? It's like everybody's just, I think people are getting the sense as you rise in your vibration and you understand and you rise past that imaginary point that I always talked about of 70 degrees, where the vibration is where now everything starts to make sense. And I think that there's much more of an understanding of the fact that working all the time isn't so necessary. Maybe it did get us things in the past, and maybe it was beneficial. Maybe we needed everybody to work, and maybe we needed slaves back then and all that type of stuff. But we know we don't now. We don't need to be beating down others to get what we need. And technology's here, the power's here for us to discover who we really are, and to use that to pull up the evolution of the human consciousness. Really is what we're after. We've got these EEG machines. We can put a hat on our head now and read all the stuff on our phone and train your brain so quickly. We know we're using 5% of our brain. What are the capacities? What are the possibilities? What's the magic that's coming out of us? That truly is magic coming out of us. And so technology is all here to help us do that. And we're naturally climbing the vibrational ladder anyway. You can't mess it up. You'll never get it done. It never ends. So just relax and enjoy it. But what would be my culminating point here? I just inviting us to hold a positive vision of a loving future coming, where we're not so much, dog eat dog, fortify ourselves society. That we're going to say, you know what, let's just basically give everybody a standard of living. You say, oh, that's going to make lazy people. What do lazy people eventually bring? Let's try that. Let's do an experiment. What do lazy people have to bring? There's a lot that happens outside of just, building a bigger house and a bigger, sky rise and a whatever. We could go on with a lot of things that man has built. That we've done that, been there and done that. What about the arts and our expression of the love and our tuning in, tapping into who we really are? What if everybody, was working on their ability to be in a more meditative, loving state throughout the day, and expressing that in any way that they can, and basic provisions for survival are taken care of. That's sort of society gives you that. You think, oh, it'd be so boring, but it wouldn't be boring, because you could it's like you go on a 1-week vacation. If that's boring to you, then I feel for you. It's like when you get more time off, good things happen. I don't know. I don't feel like I want to try to go into details and try to convince somebody that if man had more free time, that he wouldn't be more loving, and more beautiful things wouldn't come out of this planet. But that's where it comes to, we got to be looking to the psychics and the channels and outside information for where, or your own vision of tuned in, tapped in, turned on, when you're rising above that threshold where all of a sudden you're connected to the higher consciousness, to the God source, to the collective consciousness. Your soul and you and the universe are one. That connection is going to yield magical things. And that's where we're going. We're going to free up ourselves to explore who we really are. Heaven on earth, if you want to call it that. But what's our culminating point on that? Well, we talked about it yesterday, that this sense of worrying about what's coming and fearful of what's coming leads you to those fearful, worrisome events. And thinking about positive things and positive things to come will lead you to those positive things. So I want us to go to positive things, and I've made that shift in my own mind over all my life, really, but I see the fruits of it. I see people all the time choosing the fearful thing and then going after it. They chase it down like I've got to be right. I've got to be right. And I'm like, I'm going to be right about how great things are going to be and how great they already are. And if you want to be a powerful creator, it's good to be thinking this stuff. If you can talk about it, that's even more powerful a creator. If you're going to act on that positive vision that you see, that's even more powerful of a creator. If you want to just feel like it's already done, then it is. I'm already living in a blissful place. I say that more than I do. I'm trying to be real with you guys. You know, I got my fearful days and my things that, you know, pull me down, but I'm sensitive now to what's pulling me down and how I get, you know, how I cut the ropes on those and I bob to the top, and I feel, I know everything's still climbing and still going up, and you can tell me all the bad things about the government and the people, and, you know, I just don't even watch it. I'm like, I know what that's fading away, and I know what's coming, and it's beautiful and blissful. And we're at 15 minutes, so I'm going to call that a wrap, and encourage you to slow down, focus on your breath, slow down your breath, be conscious of your breath, and allow love to enter your being. Bring down that love bomb of soul, of your version of the God consciousness that you're tapped in with. Bring it down, integrate it, love it, and let it out. And fear is only going to be a block on any of that. There's nothing to be fearful about that process, and there's nothing better to be doing with your life, and there's nothing else we're here to do. Anyway, all right, so hopefully that was helpful. Anyway, we'll talk about it again from some other angle next time. Maybe it'll mean more. Anyway, love you guys. Really do. And let's be excited. All right, talk to you soon.